Welcome to a journey that will sharpen your focus and boost your productivity. Today we're going to unpack the concept of focus and its profound significance in our lives. So what is focus? In its simplest form, focus is the ability to direct our attention and thoughts towards a specific task or goal. It's the mental spotlight that illuminates the path to our objectives. Our focus is like a beam of light, cutting through the fog of distractions and illuminating the path towards our goals. It's an essential tool in our cognitive toolbox, playing a pivotal role in learning, problem-solving, creativity, and decision-making. Without focus, our minds become a chaotic whirlwind of thoughts and ideas, leaving us feeling overwhelmed and unproductive. But there's a villain lurking in the shadows, ready to hijack our attention and derail our productivity. This villain is distraction, an unwelcome intruder that fragments our focus and impairs our performance. Whether it's the incessant ping of a smartphone notification, the allure of social media, or the nagging worry about an upcoming deadline, distractions are everywhere, chipping away at our focus and leaving us feeling frazzled and fatigued. Distractions don't just affect our productivity, they also take a toll on our mental health and overall well-being. When our attention is constantly being pulled in different directions, it's harder for us to relax, recharge, and enjoy the present moment. This can lead to feelings of stress, anxiety, and dissatisfaction, creating a vicious cycle that further erodes our focus. But fear not, because there's a way out of this distraction maze. Over the course of this journey, we'll be exploring 5 common mistakes that sabotage our focus. These are the traps that many of us unwittingly fall into, undermining our productivity and peace of mind. By understanding these mistakes and learning how to avoid them, we can reclaim our focus, supercharge our productivity, and enhance our well-being. So buckle up and get ready to transform your mind into a laser-sharp tool of focus. Now let's dive into the first common mistake that's ruining your focus. Multitasking might seem like a superpower, but it's actually your kryptonite. We've all been there, juggling multiple tasks at once, feeling like a circus performer trying to keep all the balls in the air. But here's the thing, multitasking is a myth. That's right, a myth. The human brain isn't designed to handle multiple tasks simultaneously. Instead, it switches quickly between tasks, giving the illusion of doing everything at once. But in reality, it's just quick task switching. Let's dive into the cognitive costs of this so-called multitasking. Each time you switch tasks, your brain has to reorient itself, which takes time and mental energy. It's like trying to run a marathon and sprint every few hundred yards. You'll exhaust yourself quickly, and your overall performance will suffer. This constant task switching leads to what psychologists call cognitive switching penalty. It's the delay that arises due to the brain's need to reorient itself every time it switches tasks. This switching penalty leads to errors, slows down your speed, and drains your mental energy, leaving you feeling exhausted and unproductive. But don't just take my word for it. Let's look at some concrete examples and studies. A study from Stanford University found that heavy multitaskers, those who frequently juggle multiple streams of content, performed worse on cognitive control tasks. They were more easily distracted, less able to keep information organized in their minds, and slower at switching from one task to another. Multitaskers are not, as they often perceive themselves, the epitome of productivity, but rather they are quite the opposite. Another study from the University of Sussex found that multitasking with electronic media, like texting while watching TV, can even harm your brain. Regular multitaskers had less brain density in the anterior cingulate cortex, a region responsible for empathy and cognitive and emotional control. At this point you might be thinking, well, I've been multitasking all my life and I've been just fine. But the truth is, you've been paying the price without realizing it. The cost comes in the form of reduced productivity, increased stress, impaired memory, and lower overall cognitive performance. So what's the solution? It's simple, do less. Focus on one task at a time. Prioritize. Single tasking allows your brain to focus its full attention and energy on the task at hand. It reduces errors, increases speed, and even boosts creativity. Let's take the example of writing a report. If you focus solely on that task, without checking your emails every few minutes or responding to every notification, you'll find that you can complete it more efficiently and to a higher standard. You're more present, more focused, and ultimately more productive. Remember, doing less can actually help you achieve more. Embrace single tasking. Give your brain the focus it craves, and you'll not only improve your productivity, but also your mental well-being. You'll feel less stressed, more in control, and more accomplished at the end of the day. So the next time you're tempted to multitask, remember that it's not a superpower, it's your kryptonite. Ever feel overwhelmed by your to-do list? It might be a sign that your priorities need some attention. Let's dive into the world of priorities. It's a world that often seems like a labyrinth, with multiple paths leading to different tasks, all vying for your attention. The key to navigating this labyrinth is understanding the importance of setting clear priorities. When we talk about setting clear priorities, we're not just talking about deciding what needs to be done first. It's about understanding what tasks align with our goals, which ones bring us closer to our vision, and which ones are just noise in the system. Prioritizing is essentially a way of decluttering our minds and our lives, allowing us to focus on what truly matters. It's like being a captain of a ship. If you don't set a clear course, you'll find yourself adrift in the sea, tossed around by waves of distractions. But with a clear destination in mind and a mapped-out route, you can navigate even the stormiest seas. But how do we set these priorities? One method is Eisenhower's urgent important principle, a quadrant-based system that helps you break down your tasks into 4 categories: urgent and important, not urgent but important, urgent but not important, and not urgent and not important. This method allows you to focus on tasks that are truly important and not just urgent. Another strategy is the ABCDE method, where you assign letters to your tasks based on their importance. A tasks are the most important, B tasks are slightly less important, and so on. This method gives you a clear hierarchy of tasks, allowing you to tackle them in an orderly manner. However, setting clear priorities is not without its challenges. It's common to feel overwhelmed when trying to distinguish between what's important and what's urgent, or when faced with multiple important tasks. It's easy to fall into the trap of prioritizing everything, which is as good as prioritizing nothing. But remember, when everything is a priority, nothing is a priority. It's essential to be discerning, to understand that you can't do everything at once and that it's okay to put some tasks on the back burner. It's not about doing more, it's about doing what matters. Prioritizing also requires constant reevaluation. What was important yesterday might not be important today. Life is dynamic, and so are our priorities. Regularly reassessing your priorities ensures that you're always focused on the tasks that are most beneficial to you at any given time. With clear priorities, your focus won't be pulled in 100 different directions. Instead, it will be like a laser beam, concentrated and powerful, allowing you to accomplish your tasks efficiently and effectively. Prioritizing is not just about managing your tasks, it's about managing your focus. And with a managed focus, you can conquer the world, one task at a time. So, the next time you feel overwhelmed by your to-do list, take a step back, take a deep breath, and reevaluate your priorities. Remember, the key to a focused mind is a prioritized life. With clear priorities, your focus won't be pulled in 100 different directions. In the digital age, our devices can be our best friends and our worst enemies. A profound truth we must grapple with as we delve into the digital distraction dilemma. Everywhere we turn, there's a screen vying for our attention. Social media, email, smartphone notifications, they're all competing for a slice of our focus. These digital distractions are pervasive and invasive. They infiltrate our lives, often without us even realizing it. You see, our brains are wired to pay attention to new stimuli. It's a survival mechanism. But in the digital world, this instinct can work against us. Every ping, every notification, every pop-up ad is a potential distraction. And every distraction chips away at our focus. But it's not just that these distractions are numerous, they're also addictive. Ever found yourself mindlessly scrolling through social media or checking your email every 5 minutes? That's not an accident. These platforms are designed to be addictive. They use color, sound, movement, all to keep you hooked. They feed on our need for social validation, our fear of missing out. Digital distractions are like junk food for the mind. They give us a quick hit of dopamine, a fleeting sense of satisfaction, but they leave us mentally drained. They fragment our attention, making it harder for us to concentrate on the tasks that truly matter. So, how do we combat this digital distraction dilemma? The first step is recognizing the problem. Awareness is the foundation of change. Once we acknowledge the power these digital distractions hold over us, we can start to reclaim our focus. Next, we need to set boundaries. This could mean turning off notifications during certain hours, using website blockers to limit access to distracting sites, or even setting a timer for how long you can use certain apps. These strategies can help us regain control over our digital lives, rather than letting our devices dictate our attention. But perhaps the most powerful tool in our arsenal is the digital detox. This involves setting aside time, whether it's a few hours each day or an entire weekend, to disconnect from our devices completely. It's a chance to reset, to clear our minds, to remember what it's like to focus without constant digital interruptions. It's not easy. It requires discipline, commitment, and a willingness to break free from the digital chains that bind us. But the rewards are immense. Imagine a life where your focus is not fragmented by constant notifications, where you can concentrate on a task without the nagging urge to check your phone. In the end, it's about balance. We live in a digital world, and our devices are not going away, but we can learn to use them mindfully, to control them, rather than letting them control us. Remember, your attention is precious. Don't let it be hijacked by your devices. Time is a non-renewable resource. Are you managing it wisely? This question, while seemingly simple, is often overlooked. Many of us fall into the trap of poor time management, which can lead to distractions and a loss of focus. But why does this happen? And what can we do about it? In our fast-paced world, we often feel pressured to keep up, to do more, to be more. But the reality is, we can't do everything at once. When we try to, we end up spreading ourselves too thin, leading to stress, burnout, and yes, distractions. Our minds flit from one thing to another and our focus suffers. But don't despair. There are effective time management techniques out there designed to help you regain control of your time and consequently, your focus. Let's explore a few of these. First, there's the Pomodoro technique. Named after a tomato-shaped kitchen timer, this method involves working for a set period, typically 25 minutes, then taking a 5-minute break. This cycle is repeated 4 times, after which you take a longer break. The idea is to create a rhythm that keeps your mind fresh and focused. Another technique is time blocking, where you dedicate specific blocks of time to different tasks or activities throughout your day. This helps you maintain focus by reducing the need to switch between tasks frequently. Creating a daily schedule is also helpful. By mapping out your day ahead of time, you can allocate your time more efficiently, reducing the chances of distraction. Consider the story of a successful entrepreneur. She started her business from scratch, with countless tasks demanding her attention, but by using these time management techniques, she was able to stay focused, prioritize her tasks, and grow her business. Remember, time management isn't about cramming more into your day, it's about making the most of the time you have. By managing your time wisely, you can reduce distractions, improve your focus, and ultimately, achieve more of what truly matters to you. Your mind is the engine of your focus. Are you taking care of it? In our journey to understand the mistakes ruining our focus, we've arrived at a crucial crossroads, the intersection of mindfulness, mental health, and focus. They might seem like separate entities, but they're deeply intertwined, forming the trinity of our cognitive well-being. Mindfulness, in its simplest form, means being present. It's about anchoring ourselves in the here and now, not being swept away by the relentless current of thoughts, distractions, and worries. When we neglect mindfulness, we're essentially leaving the driver's seat of our mind, allowing distractions to take the wheel. This inevitably leads to a drop in focus, productivity, and ultimately, our mental health. Mental health is like the soil in which the seed of focus thrives. A disturbed mind, laden with stress or anxiety, can hardly maintain focus. It's like trying to keep a flame alive amidst a storm. But when we nurture our mental health, we're creating a conducive environment for focus to flourish. Now, how do we integrate mindfulness into our lives and enhance our mental health? Well, the answer lies in simple yet powerful practices. Meditation, for one, is a potent tool. It's like a gym workout for your mind, strengthening your ability to focus while simultaneously reducing stress and anxiety. Let's debunk a common misconception here. Meditation isn't about emptying your mind or achieving a state of eternal bliss. It's about observing your thoughts without judgment, about understanding the ebb and flow of your mind. And the best part? You don't need to be perched on a mountaintop or in a tranquil forest to meditate. It can be done right here, right now, wherever you are. Another beneficial practice is deep breathing. It's like a secret weapon we all carry with us, but rarely use effectively. When we're stressed or anxious, our breath becomes shallow, which in turn triggers a stress response in our body. By consciously taking deep, slow breaths, we can reverse this response, calming our mind and enhancing our focus. Lastly, let's talk about the everyday mindfulness techniques that can be seamlessly woven into the fabric of our daily lives. Mindful eating, for instance, involves truly savoring your food, being aware of the flavors, textures, and sensations. Similarly, mindful walking is about being fully present with each step, each breath, each moment. These practices anchor us in the present, reducing distractions and boosting our focus. Remember, mindfulness isn't a one-time quick fix. It's a journey, a lifelong practice. It's about cultivating a certain quality of mind, a certain way of being. It's about befriending your mind, not fighting it. And it's this friendship that paves the way for improved focus and mental health. So let's make mindfulness a priority, not an afterthought. Let's nurture our mental health, not neglect it. Because a healthy, focused mind isn't just about ticking off tasks on a to-do list. It's about living fully, living mindfully. Mindfulness isn't just a buzzword, it's a powerful tool for reclaiming your focus. We've journeyed through the common mistakes that are sabotaging your focus. It's been quite a voyage, hasn't it? From the myth of multitasking to the trap of poor time management, we've navigated the treacherous waters of distraction and emerged with a clearer understanding of how to maintain focus. Let's take a moment to revisit our voyage. We started by debunking the myth of multitasking. The truth is, our brains are not equipped to handle multiple tasks simultaneously. Instead, we switch between tasks, paying a cognitive cost each time. By focusing on one task at a time, we can be more productive and efficient. From there, we dove into the priority puzzle, understanding the importance of setting clear priorities. Whether it's using Eisenhower's urgent important principle or the ABCDE method, having a clear roadmap can help us navigate the sea of tasks with ease. Next, we tackled the ever-pervasive digital distractions. The omnipresence of social media, emails, and smartphone notifications can easily pull us away from our tasks. But by setting device limits, practicing digital detoxes, or using website blockers, we can reclaim control over our attention. Our journey then led us to the time management trap. A lack of effective time management can lead to distractions, but with techniques like the Pomodoro technique or time blocking, we can better manage our time and maintain focus. Finally, we explored the often overlooked connection between mindfulness, mental health, and focus. Integrating practices like meditation, deep breathing exercises, and mindfulness techniques into our daily life can help improve our focus. The importance of overcoming these focus-ruining mistakes cannot be overstated. By understanding and addressing these common mistakes, we can improve our focus, productivity, and overall well-being. It's not an overnight process, but with persistence and the right strategies, we can regain control over our attention. Remember, focus is a skill. With practice and patience, you can master it. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Until next time, keep focusing on what matters most.